Welcome to Curated by Culture. I'm your curator, Cassandra. Thank you, as always, for joining me. First things first, how's your head? How's your heart? Um, I'm in slightly better spirits because I got to spend some time with my daughter, so that filled me up with a lot of goodness that I needed, especially with what's going on in the world. But I am not going to make this a long episode. It's just the last one of 2023. And so I felt like it was important that I just said something, especially today, being the last day of this year. But, most people like to start a new year with all these resolutions and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. I've said this before and I definitely think I recorded this last year for last year's New Year episode. But instead of the idea of starting something new this year, try letting go of things that didn't serve you, right? So anything that didn't serve you in 2023, whether they be relationships, hobbies, jobs, situationships, whatever it is, friendships, even, like when I say relationships, I mean all relationships. It could be, parental, siblings, romantic friendships, whatever relationships. If they did not serve you in any shape, way, or form in 2023, try letting them go now. Don't go into the new year with something that doesn't work for you. That's not something I believe in. I also don't believe in New Year's resolutions for that very reason, right? It's cold. Who wants to go to the gym when it's freezing? Who wants to do these things when it's cold? The winter months to me are kind of like hibernation and preparation. Like you can sow your seeds now, not your literal seeds, but your, sow those spiritual seeds, sow the seeds of the person that you want to become, the things you want to shed, the things you no longer want to be a part of, right? So by sowing the seeds of letting that go, you open the door for 2024 to be a different season for you, not the same old, or not another year where you set these goals for yourself that are unattainable. Letting go of things that don't work for you is very attainable. Like that's just something you can do. So I want to share that, but I also wanted to share a few other quick things. I promise it's not going to be a full episode. But one of the things that a lot of the women who listen to me say is, I'm just trying to figure out who I am outside of being a mom or outside of being a wife, or I'm just trying to find this or figure that out. For 2024, I pray you all, men and women, find peace, right? I don't want to wish you a happy new year. I want to wish you a peaceful new year because I believe that with peace comes happiness. Whereas with happiness, peace doesn't always come. So let's strive for that. Instead of a happy new year, I pray a peaceful new year for you. I pray to the women who DM me or who text me, who call me, who I'm always talking to about, shutting off social media or turning these things off. I'm critical of a lot of you. I know that. I'm always like, just turn this off. Like, why are you comparing yourself to these things? I think Maureen, she can attest to that. I'm always like, stop comparing yourself to what you see on your screen, because a lot of these people also aren't happy, right? You're searching for something, they're searching for something, everyone's searching for validation, and no one's finding peace. So to the women who say, I'm trying to figure out who I am, outside of this, or I don't know what I want to do, I pray that you walk into that this year. I pray you find the peace that you're searching for so that that thing that you're searching for can find you. But I also really strongly urge you to stop putting yourselves in these boxes where you're comparing yourselves to other people. God made us all so uniquely different, but He made us all in His image. So if we know that, why do we try to look like or be like other people? Why aren't we trying to do the things that work for us instead of the things that are working for other people? I can't be all things to everyone, but I can be who I am, right? I can't try to do the things that I know I don't know how to do. I know a lot of people, especially women, I say this a lot for women who don't know themselves and then get into friendships with people and take on their traits or take on their personalities, or start doing the things that they do because it seems to work for them. You have to figure out what works for you and do that thing. you know Stop looking at how other people have shaped their bodies and all these other things. God made us in his image. You think he wanted us all to look the same? You think he wanted us all to have BBLs and all these other things? No. He made you how you are, and you are perfect in his image. There's a saying, there's a lid for every pot. Trust me, there's somebody for you. You don't have to alter who you are to become somebody for someone else. You already are that person. It's just a matter of finding yourself and eventually finding the person. But I believe that the things that I want me to. So I believe that if you are really doing all the work that you need to do, and you're finding all the peace, and you are taking care of yourself in all the ways you have to take care of yourself, but you're also praying and holding on to the idea that there is somebody out there for you, that person will find you. I fully believe that that person will find you. I was having this conversation on TikTok with some strangers. That this one woman asked me my opinion on something, and I gave it, and then other people started chiming in. But if you have been around for a while, you know how I feel about the dating apps. I just feel like that's a lie. That will never work. That's just a reality. It will never work. There's no better way to find the person that's for you than for you to be doing the things you love to do. And this is something I always tell people. Go do what you like doing. I love traveling. I love going to galleries and museums. I love architecture and seeing doors. I've always met someone doing the things that I love to do, whether it's a friendship romantically or otherwise. I've always met people doing those same similar things, and I've created connections with them. So I strongly believe that if you're out in the world, ladies especially, doing the things that you like to do, that person that you're searching for is also searching for you. And it's likely that they'll be in that one of those places, especially when you really know what you like to do. Don't do the things that other people like to do. And going out to a club is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the things that really bring you excitement and passion, that really burn inside of you. Like, I love doing these things. Like, I'm a creative through and through. I love any form of creativity. So if I'm doing something in the fields that I love, that I'm like, I thrive in, I'm always meeting people here. I'm always meeting people here. And I believe that for all of us. I really do. So to the women who always are DMing me and saying, that's my best 2024 advice for you. Find out who you are on your own. Not being a mom, not being a wife or a girlfriend, or all these other things, but who you are, who God created you to be, and pursue that. Pursue that passionately, and eventually you'll come to that peaceful place. And for some people, and I mean this, they stop searching for that quote unquote companion, and then that companion just walks into their lives. So consider that. Maybe your person is just waiting for you to slow down or something to that effect. And then to the men who DM me, because most of my male friends have the same kind of saga happening in their lives, where they're always like, I'm just trying to be a better man, or I'm trying to do this, or, if they're married, just be good to my wife or be good for my wife. This is a thought that I have. Well, not a thought that I have. It's probably a fact, but this is just something I think about. How I always say that babies are innocent, right? And I've been saying this, I've always said this. Kids, the little ones, when they're first born, they're just perfect in every possible way. They are perfect. They're not tainted, they're not changed, they're not traumatized, hopefully, when they're born. And they have that time period of just being able to be children. The older they get, the more like mischievous ways can be pushed on them. And sometimes that's a product of your environment or your home life, or, where you go to school. Unfortunately, there's a million and one different things, which is why it's always important where you decide to have children too. Like, having them is one thing, where you decide to raise them is a whole other thing. Because it's, community should be everything for, especially as a parent when you're raising children. But the older they get, the more they're pushed into those mischievous ways. The same goes for all of us, but I say this a lot for the men. There is probably a 50-50 split in each and every one of us, good and evil, obviously. The one you feed more is the one you will be, right? So if you're trying to be a better man, choose the good person. Choose that good person inside of you every single time, right? And that looks like what you watch, what you ingest. I'm always saying guard your gates. What you watch, what you eat, what you listen to, all of that stuff is important. So what you're watching is important. So if you're on social media and all you do is follow random women, but you're a married man, yeah, it's always going to be hard for you to be completely faithful to your wife. What are you marrying? Watching these women for, marrying? What are you watching these women for? Like, that's something you should ask yourself. If you're, around people who cheat on their girlfriends or cheat on their wives, there's a high probability that you might do it too. So choose better friends. There's a little bit of both in you. The more you feed one, the more of that one you will be. If you really want to be a better person, and this is for the women and the men, choose the good always. Choose the good person inside of you. That person that I'm always talking about. Greater is he who is in you than he who is in the world. Choose that person every single time. The more you choose that person, the more you will see for yourself. No one will have to tell you this, but you'll see it for yourself, how your life is changing. You don't need the affirmations of anybody's words when you're doing good. Like, you don't need anybody to say, good job on doing good. You don't need that. You know that because you'll feel it. It will also be reciprocated to you. That is something that I fully believe in. The better of a person you are, the better things come to you, or easier things come to you. I'm like a living testimony of that. Like, I really do believe that. Excuse me. I really do believe that if you choose to do good in this world, and I'm not saying I'm a nice person, I'm a kind person. So, if somebody's listening to this, they're like, oh, she thinks she's, no, I'm not a nice person. Excuse me. I am a kind person, though. I always choose to be kind. And I think that's important um, in this whole trying to search to find yourself and who am I and who am I by. Be kind. Always choose kindness. I'm not talking about paying it forward by buying somebody a drink, and I'm just choose to be kind. How I say, how's your head? How's your heart? You ask people that. When you ask someone how they're doing, wait for the answer. Always choose to remember that we're all humans, right? We are all struggling with something. We are all going through something. We are all experiencing something all the time. Your one act of kindness can change somebody's entire day. It could have stopped someone from doing something drastic to themselves. You never know. But the more you choose that person, the more I fully believe that your life will change for the better. The more you choose to be that better person, your life will also change for the better. So I think that's my biggest advice for men. Stop choosing eye candy. If you're trying to be a better man just in general, stop choosing eye candy and start choosing soul food. Start choosing people who fuel you, fuel your soul, who make you happier, who make you a better person. This is for everybody, relationally or otherwise. Even in your friendships, it's important that you choose the right people to be around. I've talked about this so many times, season 1, season 2, like, always audit your circle. Who's around me? Do they gossip? Because trust me, gossips gossip all the time. It doesn't matter who the person is. Just as much as they say they love you in your face, when you walk away, you are the topic. Like, oh, she thinks she's so perfect, or she thinks she's this. I've literally witnessed people do it. I'm always like, oh, how do you talk about me when I'm not around? And so I remove myself from those situations because I don't want any parts of that. None of us should. There's nothing good about gossip. I'm fairly certain it's in the Bible for the people who follow the Bible, or the Bible says people. I'm pretty sure that is in the Bible too. So just choose to be a better person. I really do pray that 2024 is the year that a lot of people also liberate their minds. We have been tricked and lied to our whole lives. A lot of people have. Some people wake up earlier than others, but I see so many of my people still so sound asleep, and it bothers me to my core that we're not choosing to liberate ourselves. And I have a lot more to discuss this season and next season on some of these things that have kept us trapped for so long, have made us believe what we've been lied to about for so long. But I pray that 2024 is the year that we liberate our minds as a people, humans, all of us. Liberate your minds this year. There's a lot going on, and there are a lot of things that are going to be going on that we need to be mentally ready for. We need to be very focused on, and these are big things. It's hard to get into it because I don't want to get into it too long, but I really do. I pray that we liberate our minds this year. I pray that this is the year that a lot of people begin to wake up to the realities of the world. And yeah, that's it. I wanted to say all that because, with the new year approaching, it's important that we shed ourselves of these old ways to make space for new ideas, new inventions, new things, and new versions of us. And don't start January 1. Start on your birthday. Make that your new season. I always say that's my new season. June 23rd is my new season. So I am who I am. I'm planting my seeds for that new version of me. Now I'm letting go of the things that no longer serve me. And I'm making sure that I'm choosing better and I'm choosing right for the person that I want to be. And I pray the same for you. So with that, I wish you a peaceful new year. I really do. I pray for you, not I wish you. I pray that this will be a peaceful new year for you. I pray that you find yourselves for the people who are searching for themselves. I pray that you find the better version of yourself for the people who are searching for that. And I think that's it. And as always, I love you, Ma. And until Palestine is free, it's free Palestine. Happy, healthy, peaceful new year.